Gentlemen, welcome to another week, another cocktail, another matchup, some more bullshit like that. So we've got an exciting week coming up here with a matchup with Alex, and so we'll get started here. I said from the beginning that the premise here, it's pretty shaky at best, and the themes of each drink as it connects to my opponent are loose at best. But this might be the first and possibly only really accurate one. Not super accurate, but you know. It'll make sense to anyone who's gone disc golfing with Alex. But the cocktail I'm making today is called the Left Hand. It's kind of a variation on a... It's a variation of a Manhattan, sort of. I think the bartender says that it's like the marriage between a Boulevardier and a Manhattan, or a Negroni and a Manhattan, kind of a mixture. If you used chocolate or cocoa bitters for last week's drink, they come into play on this one as well. Again, you don't need to use them, but I do think it adds a pretty good flavor profile to the cocktail, and I would recommend it if it's at all possible. So let's get started. As you can see the ingredients up here, I will start with the cocoa bitters. 3 dashes, which is in bitters terms a fair amount. I usually do a couple more. I don't know. Dashes are very such a non-scientific measurement, so you just kind of do it the best you can. At least this time I put it in the right glass. Next we will do 3/4 ounce of Campari. Now, I haven't used Campari very much because it is so bitter. I like a nicer balance. There's other Amaros that are bitter still, like Cynar is one that I really like. It's an artichoke one. That's not quite as bitter as Campari. In fact, when I make something like a Negroni, I usually use Cynar instead. But I'm going to stick true with this video anyway to the actual cocktail as it's listed. This cocktail comes from a bar called Milk and Honey, I believe. It's an East Coast bar. They've kind of made a lot of real famous modern classic cocktails like Penicillin or Paper Plane. Paper Plane's okay. Penicillin is not a cocktail I like particularly that well, but they still make some good cocktails, I suppose. So next is 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth. I'm sure if you guys have any sweet vermouth, it's probably the standard stuff, Martini and Rossi maybe, which is fine. There's no, I mean that is sweet vermouth. I've got a couple different bottles just because early on in this whole bar cocktail making adventure of mine, I experimented with lots of different types to find the ones that I like, and ended up with a couple different bottles that I haven't gone through yet. So, and then 1.5 ounce of bourbon. Oh, that sweet, sweet bourbon, the brownest of brown liquors. I sure do love my bourbon. About 1.5 ounces in there. Yum, 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 yum. And as it is devoid of any real fruit juice, we won't be shaking, we'll be stirring. I use like a special bar stirring spoon that the head of it spins on its own. I don't know. Obviously you can use any spoon you want. This just hypothetically, I suppose it helps it stir better. And I just realized that I forgot my strainer. And rather than have you guys sit here with an empty chair while I run and get it, I will get up and run and get it, and then I will edit it. So it will appear as if nothing happened, right? Edit point. All right, here we go. You will strain it into a chilled coupe or cocktail glass, as I have here, a chilled coupe glass. Oh, that is one attractive looking drink, I have to say. And garnish it with a brandied cherry. How pretty is that? You see that cocktail in the bar and you say, you know what, I think I want to order one of those. Let's see if it actually tastes good though, huh? Yep, that's a left hand right there. This cocktail would not do well at most disc golf courses. Okay, I do have two questions, and ironically, or not ironically, but weirdly, they're both about making picks for games this week, which if anyone saw what I had to say about the Major League Baseball playoffs this year, I am not doing so great with the old picking. So to Brian's question of what do I think Alex's chances to win this week are, probably good, because if I pick against him, he'll probably win. So seems how I want to win. I will say, oh, Alex has got this. Put it in the books. And then Nick wanted me to ask me about Pat and BK this week. And last I checked, Pat doesn't even have a lineup, so I guess I'll go with BK. Nick also wanted to know what my thoughts on tanking across the league are. And I can't remember if it was on a podcast or somebody messaged it in G-Chat or something. I don't remember now. Or an email maybe. But I do agree that I think the early tanking this season has been kind of shitty. It's a kind of a bummer. Not shitty. I would have probably done it in the same position. I just mean it's a bummer that it's happening, I suppose. And I think it's mostly has to do with the amount of talent in the league. I think it does seem like our talent pool is too small for how many teams we have. Granted, you don't want to get to a point where like everybody's quarterback scores 35 points each week. I think that's not really fun either. You kind of want to find the middle ground where there's like slightly less talent than every team needs, but enough to where more than like 4 teams feel like they can be successful. So we'll see how that goes next year. I know the Big Ten's expanding and all this shit, so we'll probably figure that all out. But yeah, so that's the answer of the only questions I got. So cheers to everybody. Good luck on your matchups. I said it before, nobody seems to care, but if you do decide to make any of these cocktails from these videos, I would like to hear how you enjoy them. And if not, whatever. Get drunk, stay drunk. That's apparently my new catchphrase, even though I hardly get drunk anymore. I certainly don't stay drunk. Cheers.